idam guru ranamanda yadayan.
Yesterday, Rinpoche said that the Nirmanakaya arises from both collections, the collection of merit and the collection of gnosis, whereas the Sambhogakaya arises from the collection of merit. Why is it that the Nirmanakaya arises from both collections as opposed to the Sambhogakaya? 이 가상게 이 롱쿠 수남기쪽 네도버와 아니 두쿠 니케 쪽네 두그레 디균생 가르에서 균생 가르카리요.
디 송바디 균생 가르에서 가상 차이바. 중국 선언당 이시 초고 이시 초니가라 송바죠. 중국이 가서래. 티바숨지를 잖아. 티바숨가를 잖아. 아니 가서래. 숨구에서 초비간에 전자바데. 티바숨가를 잖아요, 맞지? 티바로 냥되지리 봐. 이르잖. 란자가를 잖. 안티지 이르자 숨가라. 아니 가서래. 최대마. 무슨 최대마데.
무슨 최.
아니 론저 조비 고기 최대 공의지 최무스 손사대 티바치비 최바시만도 손사대 리체숨가 그 최무소마 손시 강사대라양 무스 손사대라양 특전 파봐. 是吧? 내게 채내양 아니 오면 권하시와 된지기 채봐 이게 된다 주고라 주고도 사람도 손이가 사봐라 총아 이 채와 송 이제 말 총맹기 채봐 셔 말했어 남시를 들었어한테 남시 님비잖아 들었어 봐대
남시 님비게 디 두쿠기 두쿠 저기 두쿠 이
저거 두고기 최소사들도 제대로 송가
네
이제 송가
숨가기 그래서 이시기 쪽 가리 고레티 된소 무슨 송이라 이시기 쪽 믹스에 가리요래
비시 속하는
이시
소놈다 이시 소니가를 좀 말. 소발 주바레 세대로 리젠 som나 최단 발라된 난도 대신에 치게 말로 받된 발라된 중앙인상 이니 디샤바레스.
So this is an explanation. The explanation is given in the Namche Nyingbo-gen. I'm not sure what that text is. It's I think commentary perhaps on Abhisamaya Alankara. But it is that right? Yeah. Who wrote that? Kiribje? Geltibje? So Lord Gyaltsab wrote this commentary on the ornament for the liberation, and in that he makes this kind of explanation, where he says that this, now it's not all Nirmanakayas, the supreme Nirmanakaya, such as like our Lord Buddha, and such supreme Nirmanakayas directly teach the Dharma to all three types of persons, the Shravaka, Pratyeka Buddha, and Bodhisattva sort of type, or that are going to enter into the three vehicles. So, whereas the Sambhogakaya only directly teaches bodhisattvas who have achieved the first bhumi and etc. Have achieved the bodhisattva stages. So therefore, this presentation is given in that text. The idea is that because of the differences in the disciples or the persons to be trained by these different physical embodiments of Buddhahood, then there's that distinction, that that explanation is given.
다시 한번 돼.
Is it possible that samsara could be emptied of all sentient beings? 심chen 탐체 냥을 데 코라 사운에 매빠서 투기를 배스.
심chen 탐제.
그래 심chen 탐제
코라냥.
콜레냥 콜레
코도. 그래서 양알 때 뒤요를 봤어 그래.
심chen 탐제
심chen 탐제 양알 때 뒤요를 쓰고.
냥을 데 두요레스 유럽에스.
뒤요를 심chen 탐제 상제 뒤요를. 좋아. 심chen 탐제 상제 뒤요를.
So there's a time actually when all sentient beings now la di maungpa yorbe maungpa
심chen 탐제 상제 뒤요바데 심chen 탐제라 상제 그 르기 타바 진장 심chen 탐제 상제 뒤요를.
상계비 두요레.
그래서 가세 티버스 나바샤바니 공바전인데 티버스 타두 티버스는 타두 년제지 티바 타두 란자지 티바 타두 산자기 티바스 다 년제기 티바 통과인데 저 가는 년제기 다좀 톱찬이 아니 타두 티바스는 산자기 가소래 산자지 고마 톱메 토바 메바 많이 봐 타두 티바스도 맞죠 타두 티바 찌도 좋아라 와 그러나 대지부 준자는 교우다들라나 바양다바 저 산제지 타투바체 인데 이세 교 탐제 라나 바양다바 저 산제지 고만 타투바체레 온바나 라 릭센이 코비 친다 요시고 알아 코비 친다 요아 코비 친다 좋아레레레레 친다 요아레 코비 친다 요아라.
So yes, it is possible. That is, this is explained that all sentient beings possess the lineage, this special lineage which makes them suitable to achieve not only liberation from samsara, but actual complete perfect Buddhahood as well. So even the ones who enter into the Shravaka and Pratyeka Buddha paths and achieve nirvana in that way, eventually they as well will have this lineage awakened within them, and when that lineage is awakened, then they'll enter into the Mahayana path and eventually achieve perfect Buddhahood. So this is for all sentient beings. Thus, it's possible that they can achieve perfect awakening of Buddhahood.
Yeah.
Yes.
Of course.
Yes.
대레다 소코베지 온바나 가서래 섬제탐에 상제위 뒤에 쳐래 가래에서나 상제그 투지 집을 저번이 집을 끝났네 최단 바탕 라라야랑 상제그 르기 아니 여와 인장 아니 르기세니 셔를 전에 겨와시 쓰그래.
So it's, yes, there is a time in the future when all sentient beings will achieve Buddhahood. This can be established because, on the one hand, the Buddhas, existing Buddhas, have that great compassion, which motivates them to work towards liberating all sentient beings from samsara, and then likewise we ourselves have within us this lineage. Which is like a capacity for us to achieve Buddhahood, and that this lineage, when it's awakened properly, then we.
로아 산테 말이지 남편 나버 뒤에 되면 남편 나버 주어라 빼고 통고 있거나 산테 빼고 뒤에 빼고 멤버 뒤창기도 해 이게 제일 멋스디 다지 좀도 잠마서 내 대마서 남샤 넘버 주요라 봐. 남샤 넘버 주 산제 탑제 산제 공만 탑 주요게. 리나나 남샤 넘버 주요 준전투 수주요래 대야 대마서. 다 단다 대가래. 봐. 산제 기르지 차바 인장 아니 타도 나는 뭐양 답서 산제 공만 타투 바지래.
So there's an exposition of this there's 10 various parts to it, and I don't remember that at the moment, all of the details here. But the basic point is that this Buddha lineage, it's called Buddha lineage, exists. It pervades or encompasses all sentient beings. That is, all sentient beings possess this Buddha lineage, and therefore that is suitable to be awakened. It can be awakened within sentient beings, and then because of the compassion of the Buddhas and so forth, as said, that capacity to achieve unexcelled perfect awakening exists within all sentient beings. Dini didn't shoke didn't kasan di changsim kesona dini dikpa salgiru besa dikpa tagiru besa
dikpa tagiru dikpa
di changsim
전주 선바이는 dikpa 단다 디 dikpa tagiru 해서 아니 가도
dire so the question was, does the production of bodhicitta, does the generation of bodhicitta purify one of negative, sinful or negative actions, that one is the karmic residue of that? And yes, the answer is yes.
디바 타바세야 되라. 디바 타바세야 되라. 디바 삽도 치발라. 디바 타바세야지다. 디바 아니 자완에 타바. 그봐. 자완에 타바. 아니 자주 니요래. 그봐.
So there's two.
디바 년부터 관에 샤바 차베 디바 삽도 치발라. 타바세야지. 년부터 가는 디바디 자완에 타발라. 타바세. 다니
So there's different gradations of the purification or elimination of these non-virtuous actions, and the karmic residue left by them. That is, there's a level. There are different levels of that elimination or purification. There's a kind of lessening of the force or of the negative actions or the effects of the negative actions, and then there's the complete elimination of it of the effect of the negative action as well through so for example, using the four opponent powers, that there's a initial level of lessening the force, lessening the negative action. And then there's, by means of the four opponent powers also, you can have a complete purification or elimination of the negative action.
Oh, yeah. That I think it in my Chevicana. That's all. Guatella. Ludang Gamba Gogudang. Padan Chu Dramadang. Pumbasandan Jada so Churatata. Churatadu Jatu said that all the Carasore and a Jumbo Chetu young Chetu young, Jubam, Jumbi Chetu, Ludang Gambatang, Goroku Jumatang, Martang, Padang, Ani Chiva Debit. 보고 춘주 대사기 추우당 아니 다 좀만 가려나 디 가소리 취자야면 출연밖에 본바당 샤라서와 첩이 상당 안 신샤야기 안은 자다서 안은 출라서 가나다 라와데나라 아니 조시
So then the next verse is verse 47, which says, "At these cisterns or water containers also place ointments for the body, feet and head, cradles, ladles, and ewers, brass pots, axes, and so on." Some of these translations I might differ from a little bit. So it says that for the sake of visitors, these people who are visiting your kingdom, these could also perhaps be merchants. You should provide oil that's derived from like sesame and so forth, sesame oils and so forth, for anointing one's body, feet, and head. One should provide blankets, cradles for the children that come with them, if children are accompanying them. And then there's a word which is uncertain. It could mean something like candied sugar, as well as pots for carrying water, and then also cookware for cooking meat and so forth. And then likewise hatchets for cutting wood, these sorts of things. You should put them inside the enclosure that surrounds the water containers.
第三阶段主打是普拉姆那担保一除了穷无水主的荣誉区港气度基础这个了，他第一档、二档、主档，아니三档普拉姆，아니那担保除了아니穷无水主除了穷无아니水主他的荣誉아니水主他的가서래 로비 치우강와 치중와 통통쳐가지고 정말 치우강와 기도 좋아당.
Then verse 48 says, "In cool, shady spots make small cisterns filled with potable water and provided with sesame, rice, grain, other foods, and molasses." So same thing in the commentary. It says in these, one should provide sesame, grain, various sesame, rice, grain, different kinds of foodstuffs, molasses, in small places that are shady, where you have water containers. They should be in the shade, and then small water containers that contain drinking water, filled with drinking water. One should see to it that those are provided for the visitors.
로보창의 과다도 세단 추단 포럼다 루이 봉보 따바니 아니 투된 미남 기도 쭉세 아니 조마게 창의 과다도 세단 추단 포럼다 루이 봉보 아니 뒤에 따바 투 댄싱 마지막 전에 순거서 투 댄싱 뒤라 맨다와 아니 뒤라 만다와 아니 미남 아니 기도 쭉 기도 조시 어다디 로봇 창기도 공도 시합에서 아니 셀라서와 뒤라 만다와 마치와 투 댄싱 뒤라 마다와 미남 기도 조시 야나 투 댄바 자올라 페바고 야 투 댄바 니고리 투 댄바 자올라 페바.
Then verse 49 says, "At the openings of anthills, have trustworthy persons constantly place food and water, molasses, and piles of grain." Same thing is given in the commentary, saying that at the doors, literally to the nests where ants live, always have food and water, molasses, various heaps of grain. Have them always supplied there by people that have. One way to read the text is to say that people that have they will not forget to do that. That is, that they'll be punctual in providing those things for the ants, or else one can also read the text as saying that, reading it such that the adjective having a stable kind of attitude about this or stable mind about this could be applied to the king as well.
Oh yeah, 学说我的我他都一旦起当做不当，查了说话记得吧？아니记得吧？大多在他做这是，他学说话的，下了开始所谓我的我都一旦充满了充满不但结完了，아니想我的。아니 치당 조부당 잘라 소와라 질대와 다도 세다 아니 좋아 죄지 아니 담바인 말에
So then the next instruction is given in verse 50, both before and after each meal, or before and after each meal, always offer in a pleasant manner food for pretas, dogs, ants, birds, and so on. And commentary elaborates on this a little bit. This is referring to the king's meals. Before you dine, both before and after you dine, you should see to it that whatever kinds of food is agreeable or desirable for these various beings. First is listed the pretas. There's one given by name. She's a yakshi, together with her children. And for her and so forth. And then likewise for dogs, ants, birds, etc. Give them whatever kind of food they find desirable.
Oh yeah. 这把汤呢罗捏汤，那把汤呢盐捏汤。俺旁就有的几点来，结束送往家境这是，俺叫我了说话给那边这碗汤。俺等到了罗捏穷碗汤。 아니 바로 내바당 아니 양얌네 내가 소와 중화당 아니 대 좀바 주비 대 좀배 판비 유리 주비 아니 대 좀네 판비 유리 주비 직단 대다라 가사 대다라 세라 소와 예수 송아 아니 겨우 죄지 겨우를 때만
Then verse 51 says, always care extensively for places in the world that are oppressed or where crops have failed, that have suffered harm or where there is plague or that have been conquered in war. And the commentary explains that in a little more detail, saying the areas that have been harassed by kings and others, there places where crops have failed, there's crop failure, where they're afflicted by any kind of harm in general or plague in specifically, or areas that regions that have been defeated in war by enemies, that have undergone invasion by enemies, then you should do whatever you can. You should make effort to provide extensive assistance in terms of food and so forth for the persons who are living there.
Oh yeah, that's it. 주시와 랑게제 아니 랑게제 의지 준비 초에라 주시에 비나는다 주시와데. 신바 냠다 주나라 사변 세지 제수송 아니 신바 사변당 신대 가서 신란대 그 사변당 멤버서 매비 냠다바 추와 나라 아니 사변당 세지 제수송 식수해 진바래 신바 냠다 주나라 사변 세지 제수송.
Then the first half of verse 52 says, provide seeds and food to farmers who have fallen on hard times. So here for farmers who are have fallen on hard times because they don't have seeds to plant, they don't have plows and so forth, the implements they need to plant, then you should provide seeds for them as well as food and so forth, and take care of them in that way.
rangi zai jimba tere shenbi jimba tela guyo be. Rangi zai jimba tere shenbi jimba la guyo be tangbo de nenji jara tangwa tang se yawo ngama ke ane zendap su cha pawa. Cha papa ni nenji jara se o teme ba tangwa. Yawi jara me ba tangwa. Zendap su cha sewa de me ba cheba. Nenji jara tangwa tang.
So then this previous one completed the 14 sort of forms of charity or generosity that one should perform, and then there are other that one should do on oneself, and then there's other forms of charity that are given as well, 9 of them. The first of these is in the second half of verse 52, where it says, eliminate excessive taxes, and so that's the did I miss something? No. Eliminate excessive taxes. So here this is saying that if a former king is oppressed the subjects in the kingdom by means of harsh taxation, then you as the new king should eliminate those taxes and relieve the tax burden of the subjects.
Oh yeah. 但你话对了，现在讲你讲的中华堂，现在在门头上，现在他们中华堂是干了，叫我给家长当把给。 아니 차샤怎么样？ 아니让给看真的给차真的说家长爸爸这个차샤怎么样？ 中华的没人不买了，现在讲的中华堂，托给现在讲的中华堂是。
So then the next says, and reduce the portion of products that are taxed. That is related to the previous section where it says that if a former king has imposed heavy taxation upon the people, then you should alleviate that. You should eliminate, free them from that. And then likewise, in terms of the portions of the products that they are subject to, that they have taxes imposed upon, one can reduce the amount or the quantities of the things that are subject to taxation, so that their taxes will be reduced in that way. Then it says also in the beginning of 53, protect citizens from debt. So the commentary explains that the persons who have been reduced to poverty out of debt, you should free them from that state of indebtedness. And then likewise reduce tolls. These are the kinds of a type of tax that kings extract or rulers extract from people, and so those also should be lessened or eliminated. So there's 2 ways of doing this. One can actually, as a new king, eliminate the tolls altogether, or one could reduce those which are heavy, that are extremely burdensome.
총바 대다 그 권한 되어봐이 아니 슈와 뒤수 아니 슈와 뒤수 미대비 니몬 권라라 아니 간노 롱와라 소와티 내가라 권한 대비 뒤수 아니 미대와기 가서래 니몬래 도바자바.
Then the end of that verse 53 says, eliminate the suffering of those who wait at your door with their petitions unanswered. This explains that if you have traders that have come, or merchants that have come from another land, and when they come, you should see to it that they're not overly burdened by having their wealth, their property confiscated or impounded. And then likewise, when they come to you with petitions, you should see to it that they're relieved from the affliction of not being allowed to depart with their property.
랑게 유당 유현지 총군 남자 시와제 아니 랑내사 그 유당 유현도 안 총군 꾸마 총군 반남 아니 시와제.
Then likewise one should eliminate bandits in your own land, bandits or like robbers, and in other lands as well. So same thing in the commentary here. It says, in your own and other countries, you should pacify or eliminate them, any kind of robbers and bandits.
Then 야바데라 이게 보니 냠바다 렌다 르바 지도 조스 아니 뭐보다 꿰메 꼼보에 비가나 꿰메 냠비 퇴소야 하장 렌체와 dev수 마슈바 꿰비티 꿰비가나 양 공바야 된지 하장 렌체와 dev수 마슈바 이게 보세데 냠바당 안에 렌다 총바 총나 아니 냠바다 렌다 총나 아니 르바 아니 강 르바다리 지도주.
So then it says keep prices level and place the proper value on goods. So this is saying that at times when things become, even if they become very rare or scarce, then you shouldn't allow the prices of them to rise excessively. And similarly, one should keep the prices at a place where they're appropriate to people's wages, so that people can purchase things that they require, and see to it that that if the prices are appropriate, see to it that is kept in the correct fashion.
첼라 만도 셰베 지시차 가서래 림비 지단 지소와 니주군도 천전에 지대 멤버 칸다가 대단 되게 다도 세가나 오다 만도 셰베 지시차 아니 야워랑 그 롬보기 시와 지단 지소와 되다 아니 삼바제네 아니 지대라 미네바 요즘에 안에 가서래 지단 좋아하게 여기 아니 요지 니지기 지단라 미네바 지단 너바양 가서 삼바잖아 지단 너바양 쇼 시베 삼바잖아 지단 지소와 탐제 안에 삼바잖아 아니야 유당 아니 지단라 너바 쇼야 시베 디 삼바니 아니 바로 보기 쉬어야 강한 쉬어야돼 내 민에게 삼바디 아니 쉬어 나지 제발라 내 민에게 삼바디 삼바꾼도 참바잖네 아니 시야라 개신 삼바당 아니 지대라 매바 강인 바데 다도 제고래 뒤 다도 제.
And verse 55 says, be thoroughly familiar with all that your advisors say, and always do whatever is healthy for the world. So then when your ministers or advisors are reporting to you and giving you advice, then you should carefully listen to what they have to say, And because it's possible that they may suggest things which would be harmful to the people, then you have to be able to fully evaluate, fully understand their attitudes, the attitudes and intentions of your advisors, and be able to understand which of the advice and the information that you're getting is accurate, and also that what is of use to what is beneficial to and virtuous for the people in your kingdom, and then you need to do exactly what is always beneficial and virtuous for the people of your realm.
大本祭坛记下去，其他去了可以吧？小本祭坛记下去，提醒去你可以去，让大了偏把祭坛记切话题，切一些，安尼偏把切把不得了，其他的可以要把提醒图。 现在样偏把鸡蛋鸡切一些，我偏把情感的了，看完再回来，叫你看完自己怎么说是。
Then the next verse says, just as you pay attention to whatever you think will benefit you, so too pay attention to what you think will benefit others. And the commentary says the same exact thing, that if you examine how you pay attention to things, you pay very careful attention to, and you have respect for things that you understand as being beneficial to yourself. And in exactly the same way, you should have respect for that which is beneficial for others. And so this is an instruction to the king to do that.
Oh yeah, that's it. Super tobacco down one knee, tobacco down one knee, tobacco, tobacco down one knee. 上上去的麦当劳，麦当劳几新鲜多，当你跟着遇着几对样，如果这把你的这谁这个。 先去打个马送瓦去，先去再打个马送瓦去，撒糖、去糖、麦糖、弄糖、麦糖，拿起新头，叫我当年即将绿糖龙去，单独马住那样，刚刚，单独马住那样，有什么事先去丢过，先去样丢过，再把你对这，我先去样龙再把你对这，阿贝马送没在了，龙再把提醒，
Then the next verse says, like the earth, water, fire, and wind, wild herbs and the plants of the forest, or actually trees of the forest, make yourself and your possessions available for the general enjoyment of all. So here this is, first is listed things which are not possessed by any individual in particular. And so this would include things like the earth, water, fire, wind, the plants that grow in the forest, the trees of the forest, all of those sorts of things. A king should realize that since his own body and his possessions are not something that he's going to possess forever, he should instantly use them so as to be of benefit for all of the people, not just for himself.
가서를 준비 뒤서 전역이 아니 진득이 아니 진득이 전역이 준비 뒤서 아니 저에 동화대 마주장 라 공부 준비 뒤서 아니 저에 동화대 마주장 도박꾼 동의 셈창위 도박꾼 아니 동의 셈창위 아니 자주 셈바 남라 소남 나가다 들어봐 밤에 깨வே 아니 대다 잡아주소.
Then the next verse says, even when taking their seventh step, bodhisattvas have the attitude of giving away all their possessions. This produces merit in them that is as limitless as the sky itself. So even at that point, when they're taking the 7 steps, they have not yet accomplished all of their activities. They haven't even really begun to achieve their goals. However, they have the attitude of wishing to give away all of their possessions. Bodhisattvas like that. Such a bodhisattva gives rise to merit, which has a measure similar to that of the sky, and therefore it's proper to do the same thing.
텐도님이 개발할 때 증바 대라 숨 미치라 텐도님이 증바 도바 그 텐도님와라 증바 최단 팀이 증바 숨 제외나네 담보 미치라 텐도님와라 증바 대라 부모 수제 내장바 되대냐와 남자나 대니 탐지 용원제비 손이 써서 타바 줄세 부모 수제와 르보체라 소베 겐지 레버레케와 텐도냐와 남라자나 대니 담비치 용수 젠비 축된지 티 텐다위 아니 짐바티 아니 담비치 용수 젠비 축된지 축당 가서 축된지 된 순이 써서 타바 줄로세요 타바 줄로세요 안 되다.
Then the next verse begins a discussion of types of generosity, which depend upon specific forms of aspiration or interest. And then the first of these is gifts, generosity, which is specifically related to the interests and concerns of humans. The first, and so this is given in verse 59. If you bestow well-adorned, beautiful maidens upon those that seek them, you will thereby attain the dharanis that hold the holy dharma. Here, the commentary explains on this, says basically the same thing, that if you provide beautiful maidens that are adorned by various forms of precious ornaments and so forth, and they're nicely adorned with those to the people that wish for them. Then out of that, then one will obtain this dharani, which enables you to completely to be able to retain in its entirety all of the words and meaning of the noble dharma.
다이나 양 진도 미루가 냠나 공도 샤바기 아니 수제와 라서와 좀보지 겐지 젬바 전도냐와나 진도 미루가 냠나 예남 군단 덴바이 부모 동자 자주타 여자 군단 현주도 투바이네 가자도 시간아 예남 군단 덴비 부모 동자 자주 다 대라 그와 여자 군단 덴와 제주부 대다라 괴외 예제 군당 현식도 투바이 좀 되는 원 안에 잡아타야도 기회 가죠 안에 싸워래 스타트 로지스는 바래
So you might think that kind of gift is inappropriate, or if you wonder if you should wonder if that kind of gift is inappropriate, then the next verse explains that previously the victor, this is an epithet of Buddha, bestowed 80,000 maidens adorned with all kinds of ornaments and accompanied by all kinds of goods. And so here it says in the commentary the same thing, that formerly, when at the time when he was I think this is Ananta Kirti. There's a story connected to this, When the sage was previously was known as Anantakirti, he provided, he gave away 80,000 maidens who were adorned with all kinds of ornaments, and likewise, together with them, all of the various kinds of necessities that were required to go along with them.
Oh yeah, that you are doba going to Niva Chimbani. Nazo Bada, yes, I will go at that and Yanamda, Chidan Chima Longeta, Lowanamla, Zevezo, Nazo Bada has a Chan Nazo Bada. And you cut all us over number dressing. Oh, and it's also. Oh, the Kang Jinji, there are so what Chima Dan Trave, Sava, a Kuela Janajo, Goa Tatatan, so Kuela Janina, Goa Tatatan, Ganam da Chidan, Chimada, Sadula, so we Longeta, and the long one Namla, Zeve Zoshi, Sitamba, but Chidan Chima, Longeta, long one Namla, Zeve Zo.
Then there's the kind of offering which is giving all kinds of whatever possessions you have to those who are wish for them or require them. And then this is given in verse 61, where it says, "To those who come begging, lovingly give numerous and resplendent clothes, ornaments, perfumes, and garlands, and other objects of enjoyment." And so here it elaborates on that in the commentary, saying that they're in various quantities, having various kinds of patterns and colors, and being free from any kind of defect that is specific to the specific thing that one is giving. And so we're talking about clothing here. So the clothes should be radiant or luminous in their sort of coloring and the way they're designed and so forth. And then likewise ornaments that are and scents, very like perfume, garlands, and any kind of food and drink and so forth, that those who request such things would be able to enjoy. One should give those lovingly.
Oh yeah, that detail cheddar to be chibatella. Kala chedin kamena sindu nyamda chugati. Ti mela tezana tela jinjoke machiso tele jinjo machiso. Kala chedin kamera basa kansa kala ani che ten Chiji Kang, Che Nyambaki, Rango Debaki, Che Nyambaki, Tingen de Mena, Kanla Che de Kang Mena. Or Tingen de Mena, Te Mebe, and Che Nyambaki, Tingen de Mebe, Sindu Nyamda Chua Te, Sindu Nyamda Chua Te. Te Mela Tingen Tela, Che Nyambi Tingen Teta Zana, Te Mela Tingen de Zana. Tela ane tele ane ji o kasore cheda timbi jimba xian cho ma chi so.
Then verse 62 says, "There's no greater act of generosity than to grant to the extremely unfortunate who are bereft of some aspect of the Dharma the happy chance to receive teachings on it." I think I would modify this a little bit, but here it says, if a person wishes for the Dharma, but they don't have the necessities for listening to the Dharma, they don't have the whatever material or other kinds of conditions are necessary for listening to the Dharma, and out of that lack, they're not having all of those necessities, then they're extremely oppressed or depressed, one could say, or oppressed by that condition. Then at that very moment that you see this occurring, then if you are able to provide all of those necessary conditions for hearing the Dharma, then this is the supreme form of generosity. There's no higher form of generosity than that.
다 뒤제라 창주 선배 현라 두 진바 미리소 냠나 가라 돈이 팬주나 대라 두장 진바지 카세 초장 미반나 대라 춘이 진미샤 세오다 가라 두 진이 두 대기 내라 쏘와라 아니 가라 돈이 팬바주나 가사 대라 팬바주 주와 대라 두 진바리 기디 두 진바리 기디스 가라 돈이 팬주바 대라 두장 진바지 카세 초장 미변나 델리 대라 진미샤스 카세 초인장 아니 내가 대라 미변나 대라 테니 진바 미치신스 that
So then, thus in that previous verse, it says one should in that way, by providing the necessities for hearing the Dharma, you're actually giving that Dharma which the person wishes to hear to them by providing the conditions necessary for them to hear the Dharma. And then the next verses say that if a bodhisattva or if you think, wouldn't it be improper for a bodhisattva to give poison to another person? If you wondered that, and then the next verses explain this. Verse 63 says, you should even give poison to those for whom poison would be beneficial. But if even the best food will not help someone, you should not give it to them. So commentary on this section says that there are sicknesses in which, certain forms of sickness, in which poison is beneficial. And in such an instance, then one should even give poison under those circumstances. And there are cases where even the best kind of food is not beneficial for someone, and in that circumstance, then one should not give even that kind of excellent food to them.
Oh yeah. That TV better. 루지 신라 치다보 소모 제바 판샤바 디시 투베 셴베바 미데와양 차와송 루지 소자와라 소와 루지 심발라 아니 치다보 아니 강신사지 제베 소모 제바 아니 판바 대신 판바 샤바 대신 두 투베장 셴라 판바이나 아니 차도랑라 미데 아니 동아 중화지나야 아니 차와서 바시레
So the example given in the next verse explains this further, saying that it is said that if a snake has bitten it, it is helpful to cut off one's finger. Likewise, the sage said that if it benefits others, one should even do something unpleasant. So commentary explains this, saying that someone who has been bitten by a snake, it's said that it's beneficial to cut off that finger. And similarly, the sage, Lord Buddha, has said that if it's beneficial to another person, then one should do something, even if it's temporarily unpleasant for them.
담비체다 체마나 니지구티 쳐다니 세데 담비체 나르비기 땡제다 나르비기 땡제 마와라 아니 겨우 니지 나사당 세라 소와기 아니 구티 쳐당 제바 아니 제고레 한번체.
So what we've just completed then the discussion of the adjuncts for the collection of merit. And then next comes their adjuncts for the collection of gnosis as well, and there are 25 of those. So the first of these is given in the first half of verse 65, where it says that have supreme respect for the holy Dharma and those who teach the Dharma. Here it says that one should have the kuti. Says respect. Actually, more like service. One should engage in the supreme form of service for the noble Dharma, as well as those who teach the noble Dharma. So, in terms of the noble Dharma, the treatises which explain the inner science of the noble Dharma, as well as the Dharma teachers themselves, you should provide service for them by providing the best kinds of, or one should provide the best sort of service to them by providing them with clothing and food, etc. So the next is an instruction to abandon, to be respectful, and when listening to the Dharma. The commentary here explains that this is 65. Respectfully listen to the Dharma. It says get rid of haughtiness or arrogance, and listen to the Dharma with respect and praise it and praise it. It's explained in the commentary. It's called the clear meaning, which explains how this haughtiness or pride is a condition which prevents one from developing any kind of good qualities. So it is said that the Lord of Sages, Lord Buddha, by means of his emitting, radiating light, was able to outshine the gods, and by overwhelming them with his light, he was able to eliminate their pride and make them suitable subjects for hearing the Dharma and for entering into the Dharma.
Ani lebam la sowa ki ani deshi temba la sowe ani sura ki ani ten shaba cheji jimba shaba ya yang lebam jimba la khoya ni yo be lebam la so cheji jimba ta jan zhe shi ba wo.
Then the end of verse 65 says, and offer the Dharma to others. Here it says one should perform the offering of the Dharma. Performing the offering of the Dharma can be such things as giving texts or volumes that contain the Dharma within it, but it also can refer to giving the instruction on things like the four noble truths, four Arya realities, and so forth, these kinds of instructions.
Tam mao kaisa shaba ki xian la ne ba ta yang la pen ne kan yang me ba ki ane ji den be tam la ga ma zai chi de wo de ge ane che ji pa jia de chu gu re ro che ji pa jia de ju chen.
Then the first line of verse 66 says, do not take delight in worldly stories. The translation is a little different there. Do not take pleasure in worldly stories. Here, stories about Can I maybe, these stories about harming other people, people harming each other, or stories which don't have any kind of benefit at all, that are just empty kind of talk, then one should not take pleasure in these kinds of stories, because these serve as an obstacle to the Dharma. They operate as an obstacle.
Garland Devi, Lenuji, Xiawan Genji, and the Pumbo Della Devi, Tabla, Sowa, Jidenland Devi, and the Tam, or Tamla, and the Castle, Che Tambala Sowa, Chi Drilling Chebala Sowa, Tedagi, and the Tamla Jeva.
Then instead of that, one should, 66, it says, delight in the transcendent. Take joy or delight in that which is transcendent. This is saying that one, instead of taking pleasure in these worldly stories, one should take delight in explanations or accounts of that which is transcendental, which surpasses the world, such as the methods for achieving transcendence from, or liberation from samsara, the transcending samsara. This is again referring to the methods by which we can free ourselves from the contaminated aggregates of samsara.
Oh yeah, I true but la Dala Chita Tishin to Shanla Yuan Jeba Jus. Ani Sosula, Tambo, Ani, or Sora Jitan, Tewala Tena, and some Jung Sheriff Jim. Some Jung Sabu turn Tenny, and no Gombe, and no Gomjung Sheriff Jenny. Oh, Gomjung Sheriff Jetty, or Tesam Gomsunji, and then Rala Chita Jeba Deba Chitawa Tishin do Yang, and then Shanla Yang, and the Tesam Gomsunji, and then the Jeba Jagure.
Just as you develop good qualities in yourself, develop them in others as well. So just as you generate the good qualities that arise from study, from reflection and meditation, so here it's hearing, thinking, and meditating on the Dharma, or study, analysis and thinking about it, cultivating it through meditation and habituating yourself to it. Those virtues are good qualities that are produced from doing that, and just as you wish to do that for yourself, then you should also do what you can to cause those good qualities to be generated in others as well.
Oh yeah, then that case of it. Just each that's a bit young. And Tøya Mingomba, or the castle, Tøya Mingomba, Sembi Chejang, and the Churchy Mingom Sing said, Sembi Churchy Mingom Sing said, not a Semberg, Churchy Mingom Sing. And the Habayan turned to Eva, Tøya Mingom Yidani, sent as such castle. Say you and then la Yasha Shayva, Tøya Mingoma, or Yamba, one maybe Towa Chabra Shaw, say you gonna, or Churchy Mingomba, Habayan, Tando, and a Cheton to Yavatella. Sembe Churchy Mingomshin, Labat Mingomshin said,
Then it says, do not be satisfied with the Dharma you have heard, meaning that you shouldn't be content with the Dharma that you've heard previously as being enough. Rather, one should strive, be interested in increasing, in getting it to a greater extent. La kendi sempichugi, ngar sempichugi.
Not a Sembi Churchy Mingomba, not a Church Tewag Mingomba. Sambas and Yamba Sheserva. And the car that. Oh yeah, Tøya Oh, Cousin, Namda Ribet of the Sun Raptin, Chishin Jela, Shending Mijobi, Kaya kamdo taya suramla ngomba mebi tewa cheba sho chani ane jangola ma zongawa chibi ane kasore 통다 미나나 뭐는 게만 나신체 남다 리베 도지 남다 리바 리바 남다 그 땡라 파비 남다 리베 도 땡라 파비 소랍지 ten 지신제라 현재 미저 바게서 소랍고 텐데 아니 제발 제발라 현지 현라 마데바 란도지 제네베 현지 지신제라 현재 미저고 어템 란도지 제네비 아니 개외 감도 개외 든도 아니 원밤에 태와 쳐봐시용아 쇼체니다 뭐노죠 하나시체 카에 간도 타야 소라라 원밤에 태와 쳐봐쇼 소하데 다디다 지바인 말에.
So it's what is expressed here, the meaning is likewise expressed in the prayer, which is virtuous in the beginning, middle, and end, where it says that whatever kind of dharma you've heard and that you've been able to establish by means of faultless reasoning, that is through your own hearing it, analyzing it, then you shouldn't be satisfied with that alone, even if you've properly understood it. Rather, you should go to the feet of a master who is able to explain this and hear it again and again. And so the prayer actually says that bless me, or that I should not be satisfied with the dharma that I've heard, or that I should be content with what I've been able to understand to that extent.
Oh yeah, then 퇴와자 마셔 퇴와 쳐봐자 마셔 퇴위 되는데다 아니 뒤네 아니 숨음 삼고야 돼. 되라. 와 된숭 세가라 지임바래 잡아지 퇴와잠지 마셔봐 강 퇴위 되는데 아니 삼중게 삼단라 밤네 된숭아 퇴위 되네 뒤네 숭아탕.
So then it says likewise, where it says in the translation, keep in mind its meaning. This means that you should retain within your mind that which you have heard. So it's not adequate to simply hear it and gain a simple understanding like that, but rather you need to retain it within your mind and apply reflection upon that, reflect upon the meaning that you've understood, so as to be able to retain it.
Oh yeah, 다중글 몰람되기 쉬고되라. 시다 퇴위 퇴라 리바시 니단 찬도 추신 랍다데 삼진내라 삼례 중화이 남질로이 태좀 채워줘. 서다 퇴위 퇴한데라 지다 퇴위 퇴나 리바시 시다 리바시 태베주바다 차바르바 천이그 리바서 리바시 와르와 오 리바시 다네 지다 퇴위 퇴를 니단 찬도 추신 랍다네 니자메바 다네 다 퇴위 퇴한데라 안에 삼중기 셔랍 깨니 수신 랍다 삼진내라 삼례 중화 인 퇴위 퇴한데 삼발라 주베 삼중기 셔랍 깨니 남제로이 태좀 쳐봐쇼 안에 퇴위 퇴한데라 안에 태좀 그 정도 채 셔봐줘쇼 세대 다 퇴송 같은 데 말이.
So holding it in mind then is again explained in that the verses from the prayer of the beginning, middle, and end, where it says that that whatever I've heard, may I be able to analyze it by means of the four types of reasoning. There's a list of four. Which includes like reasoning which is based on demonstration, reasoning based on the nature of things, and so forth. There's a list of four. And through that kind of reasoned analysis, one should examine and analyze and investigate the dharma that you've already heard. And then by means of that analytical understanding of it, then one develops this second form of wisdom, the wisdom that arises from reflection or from thinking about the dharma that you've heard.
어디래 나 남바에 와서 가나 아니 퇴섬지 땡라 파비 가나 아니 가소래 최대다기 아니 제직 개발 남바에 와 디나 파제 남바에 와다 남바에 와서 손럽지 퇴위 퇴다라 아니 제작이 제직 개발 남바에 와
So then, likewise, it says here, analyze it. This refers to the analysis of the different portions of the subject matter that you've heard and thought about and reflected upon.
어다 주와든 라마달라 연부와 따도 그외 자도 소 라마탈라 연부와 소 따도 그외 아니 언연고 와당 아니 따도 그와 자반 자도 소 세션 다 담바체.
Then the end of this verse says, always respectfully offer a gift of thanksgiving to your gurus. So similarly, one should make offerings of thanksgiving, gifts of thanksgiving to your gurus, and do that always with respect.
나더니 장변박이 이왕하시다 내 준대 매바되어 봐 인상 이왕하시 매바다 랜데 매박이 나사 땡라 바비 아니 치료 장반비 땡지 되다 말로 믿는데 어 믿는데 아니 랑기 시기 초지 바자지 좋아 이왕하시 아니 이시기 초지 바자지 좋아 인상 기타 장변 소 믿는.
So then next it says, do not study, actually it just says, do not study the Charvaka system, or it's actually Lokayata system. This Lokayata system is the system of philosophy which says that there's no karma. Karma does not exist, does not produce any kind of results. So there's no karma and no results of karma. And likewise that there's no future life beyond this life. This life is it. That Lokayata system, it's also called the Charvaka system, as it's given in the translation there. It says here, do not read the treatises that belong to the Lokayata system, etc., because those will be doing so would become an obstacle to your accumulation of the collection of gnosis. Then next it says, it says, give up debate that is for the sake of pride. This saying, just as it was said above, where it said one should not be haughty or arrogant or prideful when one is going to listen to Dharma or involved in Dharma activities. Then similarly, when one is engaged in debate, one should avoid being proud.
Oh yeah. Chigla shambaki ani zaba. Oh, ani chigi jambam zebi. Chigi jawata pambaki zaba tegi. Ani tendegi chayegana. Ani rangi kesa jamba. Tendegi gaja yowa insan. Zaba hulambi tenjing aja pongwatang.
So this refers to debating just for the sake of debate, arguing about words, or just for the sake of one's own pride, or doing this, debating with just motivated by the wish to defeat the person you're debating with. This kind of debate is to be abandoned, gotten rid of.
랑그 연대 명아신 라라 냠바탄 차파용의 시도 아니 랑그 연대 아니 샹라 미줘파 샹라 명아신 미줘파.
Then it says you should not praise your own good qualities, Don't praise them. Don't proclaim them to other people. Don't proclaim your own good qualities to others.
Drala yuandan joba te, rala neba chebe, drala yinayang, drawo ku yuandan joba, mambawa mayimba, yuandan joba zechi se, yuandan joba.
Instead, you should praise the good qualities even of someone who is your enemy. So if you have someone who's harmed you or acts as an enemy towards you, even such persons, you should praise their good qualities as opposed to your own.
Oh, dita, kansore, nela apa michashin, se gana parobo dan zebi chede, ane parobo, ane kansore, mabawa michaba. Nela apa michashin.
Then it continues on verse 69, saying, "Do not attack what is vital to another," referring to like when you're involved in a conflict with someone else or have some disagreement. Don't do something that is going to harm them and sort of cut them or hit them at some very vulnerable point.
다 말씀진이 내메자 시안남 지장 세대기 안에 바로 보라 안에 가서는 마밤대 봐 삼방에서 이모제지 안심주 끝내 라한테 안에 바로 보라 추름단 가위 녀와지 총화되지 예나야 추름단 가위 녀와 링에 대한 안에 안심당 마밤대라 소와 텐데기 안에 녀와 링와 미샤와다 안에 대나시 시안남지지 녀와양 아니 시안라 녀와 링바 대나시래 시안남지니 녀와오서 녀와 링와 미샤와데 바로 박 시안남지 녀와.
Then one also should not make statements with a negative attitude towards others. So this is saying, like, if you've observed someone that's done something wrong or if they have some kind of fault, you should not report that to other people or to that other person even or to others motivated by some kind of a bad attitude, calling out or presenting the faults of others to them or to other people, even if they actually have those faults. One should not do this.
단위지 추워서서 따봤지 어제 아니 소소랑 단위지 아니 차와 강당 강체장 차와디 추마주 아니 소소 따봐 차와디 아니 추워지나 왜내리 좀 내외 좀 믿음 바이나 아니 차와디 추워 스케네 과야당 만주버시나 차와디 아니 체와 인당 추워서서 따바탕
Instead, you should examine your own errors. So this is saying that you should examine your own behavior, what you're doing, and see and think about it. Is this correct? Is this faulty kind of behavior? And when you find you've made mistakes, then you should, by examining your behavior that way to see whether it is faulty or not, then you should avoid doing that which is faulty, and if you see that it's correct, then proceed and continue to do that kind of thing.
Kawa chawa de meba yawa ni kawa de la nyewa chi chuni ani xianda la kawa chawa ki meba nyewa chingen de la kawa chawa ki kawa nanji meba chawa yawa teni rangi yongso pansin meba de yongso pansin ani nyue ani xianda yang ani ka meba de ran la nyuba yena xian meba de doba zeko re.
Then you should eliminate in yourself those faults that the wise always decry in others, and to the best of your ability, eliminate them in others as well. So one should see things which are considered to be blameworthy on the part of those who are intelligent and discerning, and see all of those faults, and
간사지기 녀와 녀와 현다 대라 개와는지 매바체외지 이나양 랑기 안테 용수 방신 매바체와디 용수 방신 랑라 누바유나 현양 안에 매바데 아니 도바체시.
So then when you observe something that wise people consider to be faulty in others, then you should eliminate that entirely from yourself. And likewise, to the best of your ability, you should attempt to dissuade other people or to cause others to turn away from that kind of faulty, blameworthy sorts of activities as much as you're able to.
Oh yeah, 다주고 와들라 현진내바 제와라 온지 내라 내공 초미자 다 현지랑라 아니 융알라 내바지 가서 내바지 제와지나 내바 기발라 다 자워라 해서 내바 기발라 다대 자워랑가 온지 내진 남이 되우라 공라 대라 아니 내바 친구들라 라야 초주와 말이 초양 람피초 세장 라미시 대장 라미세 창주야 라 창무주 세네 개정도 집이 최시 세대 나도 전에 초와 미자데 천나 공도제나 라라 치마 동아지 줄주베 초미지 동아 양중 민주와 세요 천나 제와 치마라 동아지 줄주베 동아양 중앙 민주와 아니 랑게 녀와티 매바 치시 세오다 마줘봐 동아양 민주와 중앙 민주와 아니 랑게 녀와티 매바 죠.
Then do not be angry when others do harm, but realize that it is the effect of previous karma, your previous karma. Without causing any more suffering, eliminate your own faults. Then when others do some kind of harm to you, when they've performed something that's harmful to you, you should recognize that that is the result of your former karma and not become angry towards them. If you do become angry, then in the future as well, since it will become the cause of suffering in the future as well, it will also it will just produce more suffering for yourself in the future. So one should make effort to avoid that kind of fault of generating more suffering for yourself in the future by getting angry towards those who have done some harm to you. 라겐디 개종기 차와시
동아양중 민주와 세계가라 천나 치마 동아지 줄추에 콘도 제와라 때는 제와 치마라 동아지 줄추에 아니 동아양 중앙 민주와 마조나 저와 동아양 중앙 민주와 마조와 콘도 마제나 동아양 중앙 민주바 아니 랑기 녀와티네 콘도 녀와티 데 미중화 인장 녀와티네 매버지오.
So don't get angry because this anger will become the cause of future suffering as well, and therefore, so that future suffering won't arise for you, you should do everything possible to not have that kind of fault within yourself.
단 내려와 마치 배 현다라니 편바저 세디 아니 현라 진바 땅와라 때네 아니 라라 추 아니 지년 용그레 삼바기 아니 라와 마치 범 야나 진바 땅와라 때네 새로 치마들라 남민지 저우 롱지 용그레 냠바기 거네 아니 라와 마치 봐 라와 진바 땅에 내라 라와 마치 봐 아니 저 현다라니 편바죄시 렌라와 마지바 현다라니 편바죄
Then do what benefits others without expecting anything in return. So one should not have some kind of hope that you'll get something in return for when you perform acts of generosity. So that here it's, you should think instead that I'm doing this to benefit others. So here one shouldn't think that when you're performing acts of generosity, hoping that they'll do something nice for you or return the favor to you in the future, or even have the attitude of wishing that this should produce some kind of happiness for you in your future life.
Oh yeah, that did cause I do not keep in not gazing. There was long that handshake jar. 现在安尼让了东亚界比赛，东亚界吧，东亚界这个就这么呢，是吧？安尼东亚让就不给安尼那边执行，东亚的让就是那边执行，对吧？给就晒了，安尼让东亚人那些不得了，安尼怕着我这个，安尼就晒了，说话弄完样呢，安尼太了。 안에 새 long 테라 새 짐바 현지의 작곡을 대위 주사라서 long 현지 잡을 차오.
Then endure your suffering alone and share your pleasures with beggars. So this says that whatever suffering that you have generated for yourself, when that arises, then you should bear it by yourself and endure that by yourself. And then, on the other hand, whatever kind of causes of happiness that you might have, food, etc., those you should enjoy together with those who beg for them or request them from you.
Oh yeah, 주세 잠지 큰바다 shum바다지 매 세대라다. 사이 비순 처외자 큰바니도 미자지. 이다신도 오와이 구반이 단에 shum무지 세가나 오늘 사이 안에 비순 처와 나신 자신이 비순 처와 나신 전에 비순 처와 텐데지原来야 알자 메세바 큰바 메세바 큰바니도 메제신 구바가 나네 제신 펑와 이다 나신 아니 이나 나신도 오버 주나양 구바 태기 아니야 로심바 미지와
Even should you have the perfection of a God or the excellent, or maybe better, excellent conditions of a God, you should not become inflated with pride. You should also not, even if you should become like a preta, you should not be discouraged by the hardships of poverty. So here it says, like, even if you have all of the excellent conditions of the palaces and so forth of the Lord of the gods, Indra, you should not become haughty and arrogant as a result of that. And even if you're subjected to the hardships of poverty, such that you're reduced to the condition like a preta, then you should also not become depressed.
Oh, 나 대제라. 니스 자손바들라. 덴바 관계 란데라. 자세 냠바를 주나양. 랑그 텐라 다주지. 텔레샤마 미지고. 세가라. 아니 현대도 주위. 현라 편토바마 현대도 주위. 아니 책 덴바메와 관계. 아니 랑 치비 아니 자세 냠바 주나양. 현지 아니 덴바지 마요 왕게 랑 치비. 아니 자세 냠바 주나양. 대랑기吞了大决心是让给吞了大的决心是吞到我的已经太来显度没点吧点吧嘛我太来显度俺没点吧当显了没办法呢俺显了没办法叫那俺看说的虽那样顺序假设他们家样俺没没下我
For your own sake, always state a truth that would even lead you to your death and the loss of your sovereignty. Never speak in any other fashion. This says that one should always speak the truth for the sake of others, even if it would bring you to the point of losing your kingdom as the result of your own death. So even if that were to occur for you, loss of your own kingdom as a result of your own death, then one should do that. One should speak the truth if it benefits others. On the other hand, for your own sake, you should never. So then, on the other hand, for your own sake, you should never say anything which is untrue, that would harm others. If it's not beneficial to others, you should never say anything that for your own benefit, even if it would enable you to remain alive and to preserve control of your, or obtain even a dominion of the dominion of a kingdom.
Oh, 다 지게 손바 대신도 대배 두슈 딱단 저. 나 좀내 이제 손을 잘 쓰고 나좀 된대지 기다려 손바 대신도 캐랑바다 tumban 대박이 아니다 두슈 그와 다도 된바 저.
Devote yourself always to the discipline of acting in accord with your statements. So here it says that just as you have said things, you should firmly observe the discipline. Here it refers really to an almost religious observance, or an observance of following that which you have said. So just as you have said things and accepted and promised to do them in accordance with those, you should always observe and stably perform that kind of thing, firmly adhere to and perform those sorts of statements that you have made as an observance.
Oi, 좀 전에 지게 손바 대신도 아니 미그 본 거 추루 캐랑바다 tum발 제복이 아니 영화가 주시 따도 담바 저지 에다 제바티 세 양반 제바티 대다 제바티 아니 반대 대나 반대 사진도 참아이니 담바 주르 세네 대다 제바티 괜찮 대나 반대 자고 사진도 아니 참아이니 담바 주와 미 참아 탐제기 아니 찬조치와 찬조 친경기 아니 겨우 참아이니 담바를 교회 탐제 땀 아니 탐제 땀바 되지 보고 그래서 공도 탐제 받다 아니 땀바 적시.
So this last section has to be retranslated because there's a different way of reading this. Here it says instead that one should always, instead of the way it's translated in this translation, one should always constantly and steadfastly perform the religious observance or discipline of acting in accordance with that which you have taken up as it has been taught. Now, as it has been taught refers to the teachings of Bhagavan Buddha, the Lord Buddha. So as we've discussed extensively above, there's the avoidance of the 10 kinds of non-virtuous behavior, as well as the other things that one should avoid and the positive things that one should do. To the extent that you have accepted those and made the decision to follow them, then you should take that as a religious observance and maintain that in a steadfast, constant fashion. And then if you do it in that way, then you, O splendid king, will become the most noble kind of authoritative and reliable person upon the earth. And therefore, because of that, you should be very, very constant in the things that you have promised to do.
다되니 니시장아 와되니 만도 매지고 춘이다도 탐제라 레바다데 자바탕 아니다 공도 돌드나 아니까 마음도 매지고 야오 춘이 아니 뒤다도 랑도지네 탐제라 아니 온도 차롱 미롱마 레바다데 아니 차롱와지나 자바탕 참 미롱와지나 미세바 그와 춘이 다도 탐제라 레바다데 자바탕 양다 치신 된세베세 양다바 치다와 신도 랑도지네 양다바 치다와 신도 랑도지 된세베 랑도지네 치다와 양다바 세베 아니显了 知没个吧 롱담 미름 제거 그메고 显了 知没个吧的 현지 틀라 미죠巴지 죄지 세야잖아 양다 치신 된세베 현지 틀미죠吧 죄
Then verse 76 says, in all cases you should act after first thoroughly examining the situation. By correctly seeing things as they are, you will not be dependent on others. So here it's saying that this is a summation, or this is the 25th point here, saying that not much needs to be said, or one doesn't need to say much about this. It says, O king, you should constantly, first of all, carefully scrutinize your activities such that to see whether or not they are proper or improper before you engage in them. And these activities should be examined in terms of all of the various aspects of the things that are to be taken up and the things that are to be avoided as have been enumerated previously. So once you've done that kind of examination, then you should do those things which are proper and avoid and not do those things which are improper. And by seeing the meaning of that which is to be taken up and that which is to be abandoned exactly and correctly, then you won't need to rely upon others. You won't have to ask others as to whether or not something is proper or improper. Then you won't be dependent upon others in that way. And so the verse is advising the king to do that in that way.
Oh yeah, that thing, that trouba, the engine that castle, trouba, that trouba de la, so la plan to be true. And it tomorrow and then Adam, cabaret and then Yanga, some do. That tomorrow and then I tambo tella, surely just sit there what tongue. Surely, chabale. 아니 가르고아레사나 아니 자위시 마음 미세다 자와 대와 용감 대와다 철에 자식 대와다
So then this leads into the next subject, which is the ways in which the benefits of accumulating the collections will arise. And this has two subdivisions: the way in which the 5 common good qualities arise, and then the way in which 25 special good qualities arise from doing this accumulation of the collections. So the first of these is the good qualities, the common good qualities, these 5. And the first of these is that your from the Dharma, or due to the Dharma, your rule will be happy. That is, This is verse 77. Through the Dharma, your kingdom will be happy. Or maybe better to say, actually, your dominion or your rule will be happy.
다지 니와 되라 쇼노군도 차바에 나를 자신 종주지 세가라 아니 산제기 땀발라 산제기 롱도지 땀발라 차반디단 제디 채소 세자고 최지 산제기 땀발라 차반디단디 채소 세가라 아니 냠베 차바 아니 초놈 군도 아니 냠베 차바 나를 자신 뭐 중을 추도
So, then it says, the vast canopy of your fame will spread in all directions. That is, so it says then, in the previous one as well, it says, where it says that from acting according to the Dharma, your dominion will be happy. That means that your kingdom, the subjects, and all the conditions of your reign will be happy. And then the next two lines where it says that that from that as well, your fame will spread in all directions like a vast canopy that will occur. Then by 상기기 땀발라 차와 디단 채소
단제지 땀발라 차와 디단 지 채소 양속이 아니 초남근도 년자기 차바 년자기 차바 라레 야치 뭐 중화죠 라레서 두스카베 조르와티
So then out of that kind of behavior, your fame and by people will be saying that this king has done all of this, he's done this and that in support of the teaching of the Buddha. And in that way, your positive, your good reputation and fame will spread in all directions like a vast canopy over the realm.
년비 잡아 초군도 아니 잡아진다. 럼보 남이장 아니 자오라 아니 군도 그와다 제대 두바. 럼보 남자 군도 디디아이 트디아이 사리.
And then likewise, your ministers will always bow before you, or will always respect you.
야, 나한테는 치위께는 마마데 선비되니 누세지. 대단히 치위양 대화다도 최제지 세가나. 나 치게 마마 선전용과 선거래. 최단 덴벨라 코른도와 친이 임배 최단 덴발라 아니라라 코른도와티 친이 임배. lembo 남장 대야 마잖아 되게 최된 라 코르도와 친이 임배 lembo 남장 안에 꾼도 두벌 주와오 스타지 대체 사진 대체와 다 최뉴도 두고래 최양 상자 나자 맞아봐 안에 다다니도 최주고야 되라 최뉴도 쳐봐 고야 되라 랑그 류라 내와라 소위 저게 치위견이 마마데 다 랑그 류라 내와라 소위 치견 랑그 류라 내와라 소위 치견 난게 제라 아니 길이 동라자도 내리 시제 자시라 소와 다 요하르와 딘승과 랑그 류라 내와라 소위 치위견도 마주와 매배 난게 견당 아니 치이제 세 마주바 맨 마주바라 소와 다 라링가 소아나신 아니 치위견이 마와데 치위견이 마와데 선비견이 용사직 아니 선비견이 용사직이라 다야가 치위견라 자유류와당 내가 디바당 내 다시 세마르와 카사 마슈와당 다 내가당 안에 카사라 소와데 선견도 레데 안에 선비견이 치견도 좋아 그러와 선견도 되바 대단히 치위양 견도 마주와 매배 안에 대바다도 견 최제지
So then that line that said your ministers will also bow to you should be attached up above, and that's here it says that if you possess the dharma, then you'll since it's just natural that you'll attract an entourage. Then out of that, your ministers as well will always respect you and bow to you. Then the next verse, verse 78 says, the causes of death are numerous, those that sustain life are few, and even they can cause death. And then the end of that says, therefore always practice the dharma. So here it says that this is an exhortation to quickly practice dharma, not to postpone or to wait. As it's explained in the Lamrim as well, the stages of the path instruction, that one should immediately practice dharma, not postpone it for a more convenient time, or think that there'll be some situation where it'll be easier to do it or something like that. Instead, one should think that with respect to your own body, even the place where you live and so forth, there's nothing really that surrounds us in our bodies that is not suitable to become a condition for our death. That is, all of these things can be conditions for our dying. And there are lots of conditions for death. And whereas the conditions that enable us that sustain life are actually very, very few in number. So, for example, we can have friends or people that are associates, and they are even our friends, and they can deceive us in ways that can cause us to die. Or the places where we live, or the buildings that we inhabit within can collapse on us, and those can kill us. And then also by food that we eat, if it's not digested properly. These things, food, for example, and friends, residents, and buildings that we live in, food and so forth, these things are held to be really the causes of our sustaining our life, conditions that enable us to live. But all of these, actually, if we think about them carefully, there's not one among them that is not, in fact, a condition that can cause our death. And then, because that's the case, we should always engage in the practice of dharma.
Oh yeah, that the namjilang yo me ba said. Oh, the kadula, and chicken mashi, Sanjan Yua, Salaving Katula, Tawa, Namjing yo, Kala, a long time did it. Oh, that any young cousin, Diran, this Diran, Raneta, Diraneta, Duce, Gideon Gundan, Daniela, Yamde Chuva, Kanla Ba, Tenira, she Tomola, or the Carson Racer, Diraneta, Duce, say, Dida, Datu Churchana, Tita to Churchana, Javoran, Tita to Churchana, Datu Net Churchana. Jidan Gundang, Daniela, Ranshan Nige, and Jidan Gundu Daniela, Ranshan Nige, Chebe, Randa, Shem, Niga, Chebe, Jidan Gundang, Daniela, and Randa, Shem, Niga, Chebe, Ranshan Niga, Che Deve, Yam Deva days. And he dashing, ye and Deve Simbajua. Oh, Kanlava Tenny. Roshi Tomoni Sambore, that does say Sambo says, say Cavasumando, Leshi Tomoni Sambotan, T Chopa Leva Teta Jeshi, Serigala Ota, or Rashaniga Church of Yam Deva, they should simba take a Chola Teta Jeshi.
And verse 79 says, if in this way you always practice dharma, the contentment that will arise in you and in the world will be abundant. So this is, in the commentary explaining that thus, in this way, if you always engage in the practice of dharma, then the entire world and you yourself as well, that is both yourself and others, by engaging in Dharma practice, will have a contented state of mind. You'll have a contented, happy kind of attitude, and you'll have mental pleasure and be satisfied with that, contented. So a person who has that is in a state of abundance. That is, they're in a condition in which that their life is full and abundant, and is excellent. And since that is itself the state of sufficiency and contentment, therefore you should do it in that way.
Oh yeah. Chuji deve ni lo jin, deve se ba ta tu chu. Ani xian ju pa ro bo xian la pa no qian na. Ani pa ni pa ne ba che de. Ani tera den na ani rang ge sim chu de ni mo wa da. Ni mo xin si. Ka de ni se bi chen na yang ani sim mi de wa. Sim mi de wa yong we. Pa la ne ba ma che ba ge 闲了怕那把马些把那让他出这一几把没吧，是吧？这一几把没比起确进的话的你老精，俺那的话三把他都丢了，是的话三把他都丢了。
Then the next half verse says, out of dharma one will sleep contentedly or happily. And likewise will awake in happiness or happily. So if you harm others, that is, if you engage in conflict with your enemies, if you're fighting with them, then you won't be able to sleep. You won't be able to fall asleep. And likewise, even when you're awake, you won't be happy. Therefore, by harming others,
안에 라나 주 자이 네바 제도 그 집안 매버시 집안 매바 그러봐 가서 집안 매비 7 아니 최지 내외 이로진 내가 세바다도 주로.
Then on the other hand, by not harming others, by not retaliating or so forth, or getting involved in those kinds of fights, then because you'll be free from any kind of fear of enemies, due to the dharma, you'll be able to happily fall asleep and happily wake up as well.
Oh yeah, nange dani geme be milam tajan dawara tong. Da samba taba chadang mo sun la so wa ki ane samba da manjewa ge samba tabi ane nange dani ji geme bar. Ane ni loba chena yang se nang ge dani ge mebe se ni lobi chemi chena yang milam tajang ani dewa tong se milam da yang ani milam ramsen dewa yong ya ki dewa ji ji ki milam tajang dewa tong we ani chela be ba chao.
And then because you'll be devoid of the fault of the inner condition, which would give rise to bad dreams, your dreams, you'll also have happiness. You'll see pleasant things within your dreams. So here it says that in the commentary that because of the purity of your attitude, your mind is pure, and your attitude is pure, then there won't be any fault within the inner conditions that give rise to bad dreams. So therefore, your dreams as well will be pleasant. You'll see things that will cause pleasure for you, and because of that as well, one should make effort to the Dharma.
Oh yeah, that one that's 지베 지주